Welcome to The Art of Winning. My name is Ashton Laverick, and I've spent the last 21 years working with our nation's most elite athletes, leaders, and warriors. Men and women that live and sometimes even die by the phrase, failure is not an option. As a retired Special Operations pararescue jumper, a sniper, and combat diver with over 10 combat deployments, as well as a rugby player, a lifelong student of human performance, and an entrepreneur, I have made it my obsession to explore what it truly takes to excel at life. So each week, we will bring you an inspiring person or message to help you win. From the boardroom to the battlefield, from building wealth to living fulfilled, from mastering the mind to human performance, we'll explore the mental disciplines, physical practices, and financial tools employed by the true winners of our time, as well as have fun exploring success and what it takes to win in this thing called life. Thank you for joining me today. Now let's start the show. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Art of Winning. So I just read a quote by Alex Hormozi, a big follower of his, all things business, right? And the quote goes, "The best thing I ever did was not listen to other people's opinions about my life. They don't want the best version of you. They want the version of you that best serves them." Man, that's powerful. I'll tell you, when we were going through selection, one of the things I had to do was talk to all the people that wanted to quit. Because I was one of the senior ranking guys on the team, and I had to talk to them every night. So anybody that was thinking about quitting, that was having trouble, that was getting ready to quit, they would line up outside my door when I should be getting sleep and rest and recovery for the next day. They would be lining up on my next to my door to talk to me, essentially, really just to justify their reason to quit. Because the instructors thought, yeah, like this will help them not quit because Ashton will talk them out of it. But honestly, I got tired of it and I was like, yeah, do it, quit. You should quit. But the point is, the excuses they came up with, first off, they were all in their head, right? Oh, I can't make it. I got shin splints. I'm hurting them. All this stuff, right? They had all these excuses and they had already talked themselves out of continuing with the training, continuing with selection. But it's interesting that a lot of the excuses were driven by an idea that their friends, their family, and oftentimes their loved ones, so whether it was a girl back home or girlfriend, wife, kids, whatever, would not be able to handle the new them, whatever that was, right? And it's all in our head, of course, right? And yes, when you're changing, when you're becoming a better person, a stronger person, wealthier, healthier, happier, people that are closest to you will try to talk you out of it, because what you're doing is challenging their idea of you, and their idea of you fits into their paradigm, fits into their life story. And when you start to change that, it changes their life story. And of course, that's a challenge for them. But now, that's not to say that if you change, they would actually be gone, but that's the fear, right? That is the fear that we have. The fear that if I became healthier, wealthier, happier, if I chased this dream, I would lose my loved ones. Now, we aren't conscious of that fear. It comes up nonetheless in our subconscious, right? It comes up because we think they only like us because of who we are right now. And if we change, and they tell us that, right? They tell us you're changing, you're going to be gone. This is what they would tell me. My girlfriend or my wife, my kids can't stand the idea of me being gone on these deployments around the world. They won't be able to live with that. And yes, that is very hard. But that's an extreme version, right? What we're talking about here more on this podcast is the health, wealth, and happiness that we're trying to create with our business, with how we eat, how we treat our body, how we think, right? And a lot of us don't change that because of our fear of what other people will think, because our fear of losing those people, right? And that fear is only driven by the understanding or the thought that these people can't accept that new you, right? It's a really interesting concept, because you have what you find in society is everything is a choice. It's when we decide that it's not a choice that we give up that power. Being broke is easy. You just have to do the same thing over and over. Being the same as your parents is easy. You've already lived that paradigm. You know that paradigm very well, whatever that is, right? But becoming wealthy, becoming healthy, becoming a better version of yourself, it takes responsibility. It takes responsibility because you have to come to terms with all the shit that isn't working in your life, all the shit that doesn't serve you, all the friends that don't serve you, all the ideas and paradigms and people, the jobs, the foods, the business you have, whatever, the thoughts. Like it gets really fucking personal. You have to come to terms with all that shit that isn't aligned with your end goal. That's the responsibility we're talking about. Otherwise, being the same, staying the same, repeating your parents' lifestyles, not exactly, but somewhat, because we all change a little bit and we tell ourselves we're different than our parents, but we really do. We just repeat those patterns over and over and we pass them on to our kids. But when we really get responsible of how we think, how we talk, and how we act, all of a sudden you can see I am not building more wealth. I am not building more health. I am not building true happiness. I'm not building my best life version of myself. But when you become responsible and that shit becomes clear, you can see I got to cut this stuff out. I got to cut out donuts. I can't have donuts every fucking day and decide that I'm going to have washboard abs. That's ridiculous. And yet we don't take responsibility for that thought, that speech, that action. So if you want to remain the same, you just have to do the same thing over and over. There's a Chinese quote that I really like. It says, be careful where you are headed. You're likely to end up where you're going, right? And really, that's all it is. You just look at the actions you're doing every single day. That is where you're headed in life. If your actions are wake up, hit the snooze button 4 or 5 times till it's the last minute and you have to get up, scarf down some breakfast and coffee, maybe less, and run out the door to work, then work till 4, and then come home, see what's on Netflix and pass out. Like, where the fuck is that going? Probably nowhere, right? So you have to recognize and ditch all the excuses that keep you comfortable, but also all the excuses that are holding you back from the best version of yourself. You have to become someone new. You have to kill the old you. And that's scary for many people. That's scary for both your loved ones, but also for you, right? You have to kill that identity set that says, this is all I'm ever good at. This is the only thing I know. This is what I'm good at. A lot of times we only stick to that thing because we think that is what we are good at, instead of embracing the uncomfortable, embracing the raw scrutiny that it takes to look at yourself and see what is not working. And I'll tell you right now, the statistics don't look good for Americans. 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Think about that. 61%. That's the majority of America. And this is people that are making over 100,000 a year. This includes those people too. So they're living paycheck to paycheck, which essentially means 61% of Americans are just over broke. They are one job away from having zero income. One job away, one stream of income away from having no income, from not being able to pay the bills, put food on the table, pay for their kids, their lifestyle, whatever, right? They are one stream of income away. 61% of Americans are settling for less than they are capable of living. 61% of people have decided average is acceptable, that Netflix is more important than their dreams. Those dreams you had when you were a kid, that's what we're talking about. I want to be a rock star. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a hero. I want to dream big and have these amazing adventures, right? 61% have given up on that. They've succumbed to average. They've succumbed to comfortable. They succumbed to living the same life that their parents lived, living the same life that leads to nowhere, right? They've decided that Netflix, Xbox, that weekends are more important than their dreams, that are more important than getting educated and figuring out how to fund your dreams, right? Now, money cannot buy happiness. I get it. but it sure as fuck makes it easier, right? And excuse my language, but this is something I'm passionate about. Money can't buy happiness, but it can sure fund a lot of things that lead to it, right? It sure makes it a lot easier. Understand wealth is a choice. And every day that you choose not to build your wealth, not to build your health, not to build that happiness, you're choosing average, you're choosing below average. And there's nothing worse in this world than wasting potential. And we all have amazing potential to go be, do, and have these things in our lives, right? Imagine if every human was operating at maximum capacity. Every human was out there learning how to be better, learning how to become the best version of themselves, growing in wealth, helping other people, donating and funding and learning how to grow this economy. We can't do that by sitting around and doing and watching Netflix, playing Xbox, right? And yet that's what people complain about. We complain about the government not doing enough. And yet here we are just watching the news. We complain about our schools not teaching our kids. And here we are watching Netflix all night. It's a choice, folks. It's a fucking choice. It's simple as that. And there's another, I saw this a little while back, but this is absolutely true. If you make it a habit to win that hour over and over, you've won the day. Now you have to define what winning is, obviously, but for many people, like getting an education, learning how to make an extra $50,000 this year would be a win. You could learn that in the next hour. Learning how to build a business in the next hour is a win. Learning how to eat healthy is a win. Learning how to think more efficiently so you can continue to grow and advance as a human is a win, right? Imagine that. If you win the hour consistently, you've won the day. If you win the day consistently, you've won the week. If you win the week consistently, you've won the month, you've won the year, you've won your fucking life. And you become the best version of yourself at every second, every minute. What do you want out of this life? Is your goal just to watch the next Netflix show, to save up just enough money to buy the next gaming console or take your family to a weekend getaway? That's your only goal? What if you could be on vacation for the rest of your life? What if you could help 100 people be on vacation for the rest of their lives? What if you could help 1,000 people eat 3 meals a day? What if you could help 10,000, right? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about winning your day, winning your life, and becoming the best version of yourself. It's a choice. Every second is a choice. Simple as that. And like health, your mindset, your speech, and your actions have to align with your end goal. If you want more money, you must think, talk, and take action that align with that end goal. It's as simple as that. Being broke is easy. Becoming wealthy, becoming healthy, becoming happier takes responsibility. Take responsibility every second of your day. Now, I'm not saying you don't get to relax, but you have to be responsible for what you're doing. You have to take responsibility and stop fucking complaining what the government's doing, what the news is reporting on, what other governments are doing, what the politicians are doing. Take responsibility for you. Imagine if everybody in America was a billionaire. We could really make a damn impact. But instead, we resolve ourselves to complaining about what other billionaires are doing. Wealth is a choice. Simple as that. And I'm going to read that quote again by Alex Hormozi. The best thing I ever did was not listen to other people's opinions about my life. They don't want the best version of you. They want the version of you that best serves them. But you should want that too. And that's our show today. I hope this has helped and inspired you to go take action, to win the minute, to win the hour, to win the day and the week and the month and the year of your life. All the best, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.